Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis for oil, natural gas, and solar. Oil is looking like we could have a little bit of a pullback here. We've got a nice big bearish engulfing candlestick. I'll show you on the charts what that looks like. Some of the other companies, looks like they were pulling back quite good. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a pullback here. It's not like we didn't expect that to come. I saw the contractions coming up. Bigger selling pressure than the buying pressure coming up. Usually that's an indication that we're ready to come back down. I'll show you in the charts what that looks like here. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice or anything like that. And let's dive in and look at the charts here. So this is oil, gas, and solar. We're starting with oil. We've got this resistance line coming up. We came up and tagged it. And then we're coming back down. And this spot right here is what kind of alarmed me. We got this nice big sell-off, and then the 3 up days that are real small next to it. It's like, okay, this could be a setup to go down. We headed back down. The buyer stepped in and tried pushing it back higher, and then the sellers womped it yesterday. So I do think that we're probably going to see, well, a consolidation type period where it may look something like this here, this little consolidation period, or maybe more sideways action, but I don't think we're just going to blow right through it to the upside yet. At least not yet. I think we're going to have a little bit more consolidation. Natural gas is doing the same thing. We're consolidating sideways. And I don't know if this is done yet. I try not to time it too perfectly. I mean, on the short term, it's very difficult to time things, and that's why I don't trade. I usually just invest for the long term, but everything, I mean, it looks okay. I wouldn't be buying this second in here. I'd wait for it to kind of base out and give me some buying signals in terms of candlesticks or something like that. But right now, I'm just kind of waiting on these, not really doing too much. And here's the sell-off in SM. If we put let me see if I can get a trend line in here. I'm just looking at this trend line. You can see that we broke it to the downside. So I think we might have a little bit of a pullback here. We do have support down here at 27, so it's a little ways away. We got some more support here at 30. So I think we'll first kind of hit this area somewhere in this range here. And I don't try to project price targets. I just look at the overall trend and see when they move up and down. Here's Centennial Resource Development. Again, we do have some nice support underneath it, but we did have a good sell-off yesterday. Here's Callum Petroleum. Good sell-off yesterday as well. We do have support right underneath it. And it looks like that, I mean, Contango Oil and Gas doesn't look too bad. Kind of a smaller down day. Nothing too bad to worry about. Tellurian had more of a sell-off. We're right back at that support line. Let's see what it does at this support line. And again, guys, I'm holding on for the long term. The long-term characteristics of natural gas, oil, all these commodities is fantastic. So this is just short-term noise. Recap actually looks really good. We're at this resistance line. We've got nice buying pressure coming right up into it. And we've got 2 small little down days. The sellers aren't really killing this thing. I'd like to see this for a move higher at any point here. Tetra Technologies, another decent sell-off. We're still holding the line down here across. So nothing really to worry about there. Northern Oil and Gas doesn't look too bad. We've got support right underneath it. Big up day was just big buying pressure and the smaller selling pressure days. So it's kind of battling sideways at the moment. Sand Ridge, looks like we're coming up into some resistance here. Just back and forth action. We've got a bullish candlestick here, bullish engulfing. We have another bullish engulfing. It's probably going to resolve itself upward, but it may go sideways a little bit longer. Comstock Resources getting sold off a little bit, but we do have support down here. It looks like we keep coming back to this line at $9. Crew Energy is trying to go upward. Not too many sellers here and not too many buyers. It looks like we're just tracking sideways. We do have a bullish engulfing here. Another hammer pattern here, but we're not making much progress to the upside. Athabasca oil, huge squeeze here. It's a massive cup and handle pattern that's developing and broke to the upside. It could come back and retest or come back a little bit and then move on up. Switching gears to solar. Everything in solar looks good. You've got the support line here. We're still above the support line, so everything's intact. Beams the same way. If you draw it across this way, we have some resistance up here that it's trying to get through, but it's still okay. Sunworks is struggling a little bit, but is this the move where we kind of fake some people out and then reverse it, move it higher? Yet to be seen, but the rest of the sector looks good. Here's SOL. We've got some resistance up at $10-ish. It's trying to break through, and it's kind of just going sideways a little bit. Still looks okay to me. I don't see any of these. I don't see any problems here. I see big buying pressure days and small selling days, which is good and a characteristic of a move that's going to continue to the upside. Fuel cell energy, looking like we're trying to break through this area here. We had some previous sellers coming up right into that resistance. The buying pressure is good and selling pressure is good, so everything looks good. And same with Plug Power. We had some support resistance at 35. We came up. We may pull back somewhere a little bit further. Maybe not. Maybe we take off, but everything looks good. It's big buying pressure, small selling pressure all through here. So oil looks a little bit weak in my opinion. I probably wouldn't necessarily be just diving into that yet. I'd be waiting for it to pull back, wait for the game to come to me. Natural gas is still looking a little weak, so maybe a little bit more consolidation on natural gas. And again, these in the long term are going to kill it. I think oil's going over $200 a barrel. Not now, not maybe next year, but out there a few years. Oh yeah, we're going for it. This is an inflationary period. And I was watching some clips, and these are the oil and natural gas are great inflation hedges. I was watching a clip, and I keep seeing these people saying that technology is deflationary. I hate to break it to them, but they must not know what monetary inflation and deflation is. It's monetary. You can't have a long-term deflation. It will kill the money supply. It will literally wipe it out of existence. So these bankers, if you notice, every single country is in debt. The design of the money system, that design of it has to have inflation in order for it to exist. Notice how all the debts keep getting bigger and bigger. It's all fictitious debts anyway. It's all made up. I loan you $1, which is the first dollar ever in existence. And if that dollar has interest tied to it, you owe me $2 back, $1 in the interest. How do you pay that back? Well, you can't. You have to keep borrowing money into existence forever. The principle to pay the interest back doesn't exist. So you have an increasing credit system that has to continue to expand and explode. And when you get towards the end of it, they have to do it quicker and quicker because you get all these debts that pile up. So I think that's where we're at. We're at the end of a credit cycle that you got to keep piling on the debt in order for the currency and system to survive. And the best thing you can do to protect yourself against that type of environment is commodities and precious metals and all those things. And oil is going to go a lot higher because of the inflationary component. Supply demand will compress it as well, that ratio against gold. But it right now they're piling money on. So I think that oil's got a good shot of going much, much higher. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.